All right. Well, if y'all want to, Kyle, we'll start with you. We'll go from number 5 down to number 1 on our top 5 each favorite Toby Keith songs.
All right, so number five for me is I Love This Bar. And not because it's a great song. I love this music video. He's sitting behind a chain link fence at a dive bar, and the whole time people are throwing just shit at him. And he's just happy to be there. And I will never ever forget that music video. It's one of the first music videos I ever saw. Watching CMT with my granddad. And it's just a memory that will live with me forever.
You know what's funny about that music video too that always cracked me up as a kid was when he said the part of the song where he's like, "I like to take her out to dinner. I like a movie now and then." So he's taking her out to dinner. He's taking her to like Sonic or somewhere like that, and then it's like, "I like a movie now and then," and he's sitting there laughing, spitting popcorn out, and he's making her watch the Three Stooges.
Yeah,
it was just like you said, the music video was always hilarious.
Yeah,
that's the name of the restaurant, ain't it?
I love this bar.
Toby Keith's I Love This Bar.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. That was a massive hit.
Yeah, it was fantastic. One of the earliest music videos I ever saw.
Yeah,
watching CMT with my granddad, and I would never forget
it. Kyle's like, I think I love bars.
Yeah.
All right, Andy, number 5.
I was 50-50 on picking that one, but I went with Beers Ago. I don't know, just I remember it more, I guess.
Was it 52,463 beers ago? I think that was the number that it finally got to.
I don't remember.
All right, so I guess number 5 for me is probably He Ain't Worth Missing from the his 90s stuff. Like I said, he had some bangers in the 90s. And this was one of those songs where he's just telling the girl, "Hey, look at me. I'm your guy, but that guy that you're hung up on, he ain't worth missing." Like Toby, it has that 90s sound. Me and Kyle, like, I know Andy's not as big of a fan, but definitely one of the bangers from the 90s. So that's number 5, He Ain't Worth Missing.
I'm going to go right on the same album. A little less talk and a lot more action. That a banger. What did BJ call it?
Slappers, bangers,
certified twangers. That's right. Yes, that is right up my This is a song for a lifetime.
Toby had some like good ballads, but he also had some shit kickers like that.
This song will outlive me. It's my life's goal to put some stuff like this into my great grandchildren.
Andy, number 4.
Mine, I think, is the original Drunk on a Plane, and the songs of the such would be How Do You Like Me Now?
Oh,
I love that song.
Yeah. How do you like me now?
Wouldn't that be the original Drunk on the Plane? Same premise, right?
It's the same idea, yeah. Of like, she may have left you, but you turned out to be a massive success and be like, "Hey, baby, how you like me now?" Like Carter alluded to that in his voicemail.
Is that the 04 album?
That I think was I want to say was the early 2000s. I want to say that was like, I think that was before Shock and Yaw. I think that was on either Pull My Chain or I'll look while you guys are talking about it.
That might be 2000 then, because Shock and Yaw was like 2003-ish, if I remember right.
Yeah, Shock and Yaw was 2003, but I think that was from Pull My Chain.
That might be 99, 2000.
Might have been. It was in that ballpark. Yeah, I don't remember exactly what record it was on though. It's not Pull My Chain.
It's more like it's a Drunk on a Plane if you're gonna really throw it in somebody's face.
All I know on that album is the one where he's doing the fucking smug ass grin with the cowboy hat.
Yeah,
I remember the album cover.
And he's like on the football field.
Yeah, he's just doing that smug ass grin.
All right, number 4 for me is "Wish I Didn't Know Now." This is another 90s song where he's so in love with this girl that he knows she's cheating on him. He knows she's no good. However, he said he'd rather be with her than be without her, but he just wishes that he didn't know now what he didn't know then. It was one of those. It's got that, like we always say, the way those '90s country songs have that turn of phrase and the hook of the song. I love that. That's number 4 for me. Number 3.
Number 3 is a song I alluded to earlier. I Want to Talk About Me, Baby.
That was Pull My Chain.
Yeah, I Want to Talk About Me. And the alliteration and the way he spits those lines out, I mean, it's mad impressive for a country singer because it's very upbeat. And hats off to him. And as I said earlier in the podcast, you really do grasp what he's getting at when you get older and you're in a long-term relationship.
That was my younger brother's favorite song as a kid. That was the one that he got. We got the whole CD for Landon strictly because of that song.
Yep. Also, dope album art with the cowboy boots.
Oh yeah. Yep. Andy, number 3.
I'll move it from number 2 because that was my number 2. It's hilarious.
It is.
I like when he does the me thing. It's hilarious.
Yeah, he's like me. I want to talk about me. Or no, he was like you. I know what you're talking about towards the end of the song. You.
And then it's hilarious.
It's a funny.
How can you not like it?
It's objectively funny. It's a good song. Number 3 for me, I've got to say is from that same record, My List, where he's just sitting there and he gets up in the morning, he's writing his list of all the things he needs to do today, but then he starts thinking about the more important things in life, and says that he needs to put that on what his list of things to do today. That song has been one of my favorites since I was a kid. That was like my favorite song on that record as a child, and to this day, it still holds up. So My List is number 3. Kyle, number 2.
We're going to slow it on down. Slow it way down. And You Shouldn't Kiss Me Like That.
Oh, yes.
God, we're going to slow it all the way down. This song, he really shows off his vocal range. And it's fantastic. And I feel like I'm 7 years old again. Every time I listen to this. Fantastic banger. Top to bottom.
That was one that barely missed the cut for me. Like I said, there were actually so many songs I could put in the top 5 that it was difficult, and that one barely missed cut. But I love that song too. Andy, number 2.
This wasn't my original number 3, but this is basically only from the music video. It's Bullets in the Gun.
Oh yeah,
I don't remember that one.
It had a smoke show, and it was a neo-Western Bonnie and Clyde video. Video sick. I loved that video. I think that's like 2009, 2010, something like that.
Yeah, it was for us. It would have been like late middle school, early high school for sure.
I love the music video. So I don't even remember what the song's about, but I remember the music video.
Yeah, I want to say that's a cover, but I love that song too. That one was I love Toby's rendition of it. And like you said, the music video is awesome. Like, definitely check out that music video if you haven't seen it. And if you're listening to this because you're a Toby Keith fan, you definitely have probably seen I Love This Bar, but why not go watch it again anyways? Number 2 for me is Who's That Man? One of, again, from the 90s, where he's sitting there and he's like seeing his house, seeing his wife, seeing his kids, his backyard, even talks about his dog. He goes, but who's that man that's running my life? Because his wife kicked him out. She's gotten remarried. She has another man that's just basically stepped into his spot in the house, and he's just sitting there sounding real sad boy country. I love it. And he's just like, who's that man running my life? Number 2 for me. All right, Kyle, number 1.
Have you already picked this? Have you already picked He Ain't Worth Missing?
Yeah.
Okay,
but you can still pick it though. This isn't a draft.
No, I do. Yeah. That would probably be my number 1, but since you already picked it, I'm gonna give a nod on a really cheesy song that came out at the most opportune time that it could have come out. That's American Soldier. I wouldn't have normally picked this, but you did pick He Ain't Worth Missing, which I think is my favorite Toby Keith song. But when it came out, the mood of the country had vibed. It hit hard. It's not as cheesy as Courtesy of the Red, White, and Blue, but it's very honorable to what a lot. Let's face it, we got lucky. Our generation missed it by 10 years. People that are 10 years older than us, they didn't miss it. And look up. I always say that I was born 10 years too late for the music I like. But I'm lucky that I wasn't born when I was, because, at the time, if we'd have been instead of second grade, how was it? 8 years old, instead of being 18, we dodged a lot of bullets from the geopolitical aspects. And this song is a very respectful version of Curtis Henry.
It does pay quite a good homage to the American soldier, and it needs to be said, and I wish I had said this in my monologue earlier, but hardly nobody in country music has done as much for the U.S. military as Toby Keith did. The amount of times he went overseas to play concerts for those guys, did the USO tours. It's a tip of the cap, regardless of how you feel about whatever conflicts the U.S. may have been in. You have to respect what Toby Keith did for the troops.
And also,
and this, like you said, this is very heartfelt. This is like he meant it with this song.
Yeah, what really spurred my enthusiasm to put this number one, I watched a YouTube clip today. It was multiple times that he worked with the USO to. I know it's all planned. It can't be really spur of the moment, but he would get like his staff to go pluck a woman out of the crowd and bring her up on stage, and he would multiple times. Her husband, who was a Army or Air Force or Navy veteran, or active duty soldier, he would bring him out on stage with her. And there's not many things that can touch this cold old heart of mine. But, those reunion videos, they get me choked up from time to time. But I mean, it's multiple times that he did that. And he would just bring this random woman on stage and be like, what song do you want to hear next? And, talk to her. And she has no idea. And all of a sudden her husband walks out behind her. It's a great thing to see, because, tip of the cap to him. Because, I mean, it wasn't an act with him. He really meant it.
100%. Andy, what's your favorite?
I'm fairly sure everybody can guess it. I'm surprised I haven't heard this already.
Oh, it's probably the same as my number one, if I had to guess.
Is it the number one, Toby? It's the most popular song. Mine should have been a cowboy.
Should have been a cowboy. It's my number one too.
I don't understand how that's not been mentioned yet. That's hands down my favorite.
Yeah, me too.
I love that song. I don't understand completely, because it's not like a realistic thing to have been, and when that came out, and even more so today. But if I could have done everything in that song, yeah, I'd pick that.
Oh yeah,
I think it's more about the aesthetic than actually being a cowboy.
It is more about the aesthetic, but
yeah, if we're being honest, all of us in modern America, it's definitely more about the aesthetic than.
Even when that song was written, what, 30 years ago?
90? Yeah, like what, 93, 94 when it came out?
Yeah, it's 30 years ago. Yeah, it's still an aesthetic, but yeah, I get that.
I don't want to be riding my pony on a cattle drive.
Hell yeah. I mean, look, this is undoubtedly probably one of the most popular and objectively one of the best Toby Keith songs. It's withstood the test of time for a reason, because it is just an absolute, as Kyle alluded to, and what BJ Barham has said, it's a slapper, it's a banger, and it's a certified twanger, because should have been the cowboy, man. Like the whole thing where he's like talking about old Marshall Dillon and Miss Kitty said he never hung his hat up at Kitty's place. Like Andy talking about the 6-shooter riding his pony on the cattle drive,
stealing the young girls' hearts,
just like Gene and Roy.
Gene and Roy.
How can you not listen to that song and just not have fun? It's awesome. It makes you want to live in a time period that probably was objectively worse.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Not even probably.
Like it was objectively worse. But when you listen to that 3.5 minutes, you're like, by God, you know what? I want to do that.